We have joy in interacting with you in this moment to gather to share the idea of contact, to share the idea of extraterrestrial contact upon your world. Yes, the idea of open contact, that being of our world with yours in the open public arena of Earth, in that way on the land that you have there. That then is a timing that is approaching very soon in terms of your decade that is coming to a more focused potentiality in terms of timing, in terms of realization, in terms of manifestation. In that way, there are a multitude of, you could say, preparations that are underway. Many on your world who are in positions, in a sense, to convey this information, to share the information that there is this contact then that will be taking place soon. There are many then upon your world that are beginning to realize steps to take. That is, to prepare that then the contact will be, in a sense, very free, very comfortable, very easy for your collective consciousness. And that is not to say that all on Earth will be perfectly aware of the contact before it happens, but the idea is then, as it is occurring, there will be a open knowing of all humans upon Earth that this is something that takes place. The conscious, open contact with extraterrestrials is something that has occurred, something that is a reality, that then it isn't unusual, perhaps new, but it isn't something that is a foreign experience. It is something that all on Earth will have a feeling that it is the way that life is, simply a part of the day, as the sun in the sky and the moon at night. Something they are familiar with, yes, not something that all will want then to get involved with immediately in that way, to converge upon a particular point of contact with us in that sense. Not a need to rush to that location. That then will allow for there to be an easiness about the meeting in that way. The contact in that sense will not have a crowd of Earth humans all trying to get into the same small physical location within your planet's spatial qualities of being. So there is then contact that occurs, and that occurs in the open, in a peaceful way, with those who will be most adjusted. However, again, all on Earth will have a easy connection to the knowingness that this is a reality then. It is something that will simply be a part of their awareness again. As we said, new, yes, but not foreign. Not something they are frightened of. Not anything that's going to cause them to panic or to feel that the planet is being overrun or taken over. They will not feel the need to protect, to run, to hide. They will not feel that they have to fight. They will not have to have a call to arms, to attack at some moment as if we were going to suddenly be in some type of a combative situation. They will simply know that this is the way that life is. It will be easy for them, this knowingness, this acceptance, this reality, as though it was something they have known about, in a sense, all their life, in terms of how at ease they are with it. New, yes, but something they feel at ease, as if they had been aware throughout their lifetime, somewhere in the deepest aspects of their beingness, that this was a reality, and that it would occur in this lifetime, in which they are suddenly aware it is a reality, and that then that knowing has then been placed within all earth humans before you are born. This is something you know very well may happen, and that then is something that it also has been fostered in the development of the genetic structure, in the DNA of Earth humans, that in this understanding, this sudden knowingness, that we are real, and that it is comforting, that it is a way of life, that it is supportive, that it is a mutually enriching relationship, nothing to fear, then for our presence, that it is something that has been, in a sense, developed into the DNA over generations of the earth humans, in a sense, evolution, evolvement in that sense, and part of that comes from the hybridization programs. So, there are other ways in which the genetic structure has been, in a sense, allowed to be able to connect to this, to be open to this transmission frequency of the knowledge of our existence, and with a clear knowing of our purpose in life as unconditionally open-hearted beings that are aware of the abundance that exists in the infinite, and are open to sharing this then with earth humans in ways that earth humans are most desiring to remember how to move forward and co-create a world amongst yourselves on earth that is very enjoyable for all of you, every moment without exception, every day without exception, throughout lifetimes after lifetimes without exception. For this is thus then the frequency of reality, choosing that you of earth are going to most likely move into. Not to say that you are all ready now for that, but it is something that is then in the biology of every earth human at this timing. The potential to be able to tune in to the sudden knowingness of our existence and of our contact, our coexistence, easily and peacefully on your earth is simply something that is there within the building codes of the DNA structure that allows each earth human to tune in to that aspect of their biology and suddenly be aware. For the DNA is part then of their awareness, not just something that is physical in the physiology. It is, in a sense, a gateway between the physical and non-physical, not the only, but certainly a primary gateway for earth human physical to non-physical existence. In that sense, feelings, emotions, and thoughts, non-physical, and that idea, your physical body, that which you can touch and feel, that idea, physicality, and the non-physical emotions and thoughts. The DNA, again, a gateway, not the only, but between the physical, non-physical aspects of earth human, there is this gateway, this genetic factoring in, like a factory that is able to build the opportunity for you to experience and tune in to new realities, that this one is that of our existence upon your planet, and that you then can easily interact with us in ways that will allow you to make quick and effective changes in your infrastructure as a group together moving. Not that we are doing anything, it is simply your awareness of more of your galactic nature, that you have other beings you are very connected to that live in other galactic realms. This is a very powerful alteration of your awareness that you then will be able more easily to move cohesively, cooperatively as a whole, to bring about quick, effective changes in your infrastructures, the ideas of economies, the ideas of politics, the ideas of government, the ideas of military, the ideas of what you would think of as energy consumption, utilization of the resources upon your planet, and also those being able to access more resources that are on the more whole, broader scale of existence itself, that will, again, as a whole, cooperatively allow your society to make dramatic changes that can be far easier than they would be without the awareness of your extraterrestrial heritage, without the knowledge that comes from that awareness, the connection to the understanding of who you are more fully coming into your awareness. For you can't have one without the other in terms of the physical realm you are all choosing currently to manifest and to step into in your future unfoldment of life upon Earth. As a society, you're choosing thus then most predominantly to create a civilization that is very at ease with itself and interacting with other Earth consciousnesses that you have to this point only begin to realize exist, that also can provide your society with enormous leaps and major changes in how you create and what you experience each day. All then will be in alignment more with your actual unconditionally loving nature, allowing you to move more effortlessly together, co-create more cooperatively, and bring about the new infrastructures that are more flexible, that are more enjoyable, and take into account the welfare of every Earth human and every life form upon planet Earth. Yes, as a whole. This then is all coming closer into the manifestation of your reality there. Your ability to experience this is growing. And this then we share as one idea. The Earth human has opened the door to contact with our extraterrestrial family that you are a dear member of. You have come into the wings of the family in a way that allows you to expand your potential in ever uplifting ways. So it is a great moment in the timeline of Earth human development and growingness as a whole species. Certainly is great joy for us to experience this growth you have all brought into the fold, as it were. And we thank you from the depths of our beingness, our heart, our soul. Together, then, we move. And again, more you will know what to do, how to Take action in ways that are in alignment with this more expansive knowingness that is coming into your awareness through the DNA more and more. You all have all you need biologically, genetically, for the consciousness to contain the adjustment that we exist, to step forward comfortably, understandably, confidently, and open-heartedly, peacefully in your interactions with us and with one another more fully. There are still some old crystalline structures contained in some societies in your earth that are still playing around with the ideas of a hot potato, if you will, very explosive ideas. So that is something that will work through it. You will, as a whole, be able to disengage and allow for the digestion of the fuel contained within that hot vegetable of potato quality, in a sense. The metaphor, the symbol is yet to be realized why we use that idea of a hot potato, but it will be more clear at some time in your future. Now, again, back then, you have this opening that you are choosing to step into this new realm. Thank you, dear creators of our existence, for allowing us to be a part of this awakening, this new movement of your choosing. It is a great honor, a great joy for us. So, we thank you, and be open to the changes that are underway, that will begin to manifest more obviously in your world, more clearly to your society as a whole, unquestionably activities taking place that you on earth will begin to find yourselves unable to hide from, to cover up, to spin off as being something other than what the activities and unfolding events suggest is occurring. You will find it to be more and more difficult in the up-and-coming events that will be unfolding upon your world. You will find it to become more and more difficult to doubt, to debunk, to cover over, to hide, to sweep under the rug, as it were, what these unfoldings reveal about your truer nature and your connection with the infinite. And that then is something that at times these unfolding experiences coming soon in waves in your days, your months, and a few years in your future, it will be something that is at times extraterrestrial in nature, and at times it will be simply existence itself revealing to you more of the miraculous quality of the infinite, of the imagination that existence contains and has the ability to share in events suddenly unfolding before your very eyes. So, rejoice in the timings that are ahead of you. They are full of exciting experiences of existence expressing itself in the most enjoyable ways, previously unimaginable ways, in the most obvious of ways that are also obvious. There will be at times some confusion. Some of you will question, but understand this is just the initial phase of the events as they unfold that come from, again, extraterrestrial and from existence itself. As existence begins to explore your realm in new ways of expressing its infinite, unconditionally loving nature, there will be events unfolding, experiences manifesting, that will not necessarily be of extraterrestrial origin, and those then will be very unusual for you. Those then may be thought of extraterrestrial origin, but they are not. Primarily, there is the idea that it is all coming from the same one source. Yes, the one that is the all. Yes, the all that are the one. Yes. But realize then that while we, for example, can land a ship there, a craft, and suddenly be open, peacefully interacting with you, with large groups of you on your world, that would be a unfoldment of an event from our, in a sense, co-creation with you through our focused intention to have that occur. There are also events that will be unfolding that come from another realm, not so much of our intention, that come from existence itself. And then that means then, as we share this idea from a higher, more expansive knowingness of the infinite, that we know we are a part of, but at the same time not, in a sense, navigating the direction of its course of unfoldment, of the events that come through into your awareness, into your reality. This, at times, has been thought of as a greater power, but again, it simply is a more expansive expression of the infinite, of the one, that will be very in tune with the infinite, for it can only be more in tune with the infinite for it to be coming from more expansive aspects of the infinite. And it will thus then not be of harm way upon your day at any point in time. That then, to be as an individual in your heart, to know you have reached the apex, if you will, of the top of the mountain, which is that coming back to the place of wanting to be in your heart center, wanting to know there is more to life than that which is only seen upon earth. And having then arrived at the top of this, at the apex in a sense, as a collective vibration or frequency as a whole, not necessarily the majority of Earth humans, but as a whole frequency, the primary energy that you give off has reached the apex. So, there is now time at which you are enjoying the summit, the view. You are able to see in all directions. And yes, in some portions of the horizon, there is lightning, there is thunder, there are storms, there are strong winds in certain directions. But there is also sun in other directions, soft rains in other directions of the horizon that you can see. So know then, all of these are a part of the whole. The lightning, the storms, the angers, the conflicts are all part of the whole storm in a sense. The whole 360-degree horizon that is becoming more apparent, more visible to each of you as you stand upon the apex, on the top of this mountain that you have arrived upon. To know then that it will more effortlessly be for you. Do not be frightened. To know that the storms will subside. You can then, and you will begin, in your own timing, enjoy the view at the top. And realize you do not need then to concern yourself with climbing back down. For you will not be going back down into the valley of despair at any time again. You will have, in a sense, reached a plateau, in a sense that is the foundation for the new worlds, the new experiences, the higher vibrational dimensionalities that you as a whole will begin building your new world upon, that will again be more enjoyable, will take into account every individual, assure that all are able to experience life in the most abundant in terms of experiencing joy, the fulfillment of their purpose from their perspective, and that you all in each moment are living what you would perceive to be your most meaningful, enjoyable life path, most effortlessly unfolding for you moment to moment to moment, without obstruction, without hesitation, and without fail. It would always be exciting and be something you experience as being new and refreshing, not ever getting old or stale, not ever feeling like there is something more, not ever feeling as if something is missing, but rather you will feel, each of you, like each moment is whole, complete, perfectly fulfilling, and in its appropriate unfoldment in terms of timing, how you experience each moment in your lives as an individual and as a whole together. This, then, you have only yourselves really to thank, to honor, to appreciate, to express gratitude towards, for truly you have accomplished this in a honored self-help manner. For we have not been the ones who have lifted you into this place, for we only support you when you truly call upon us, when you truly believe we exist and that we can help you, and that can only be done when you are the ones holding the wheel, guiding the ship, as it were, through these open waters, captaining the voyage in your discovery of the high seas. Yes. Know it is a wondrous time before you. Take joy in that. Focus more on your hearts, dear ones, and that will support the manifestation of these realities more immediately. Allow yourself to breathe easy throughout each day, being at ease with all that is in your world. Every expression is of the one, simply expressing itself in whatever way you are in any moment experiencing your existence, your world, your day. It is all the one. It is all the infinite. It is all unconditional love. And in that contains all that there is. And in that contains everything that truly will always support you, never leaving you behind. You have the infinite at your doorstep. The door is open. You have opened it. Be thus then open now more and more to exploring the heart infinite ways that will bring you all more joy, more heartfelt interaction with one another, easily and effortlessly. Let go of the old ways, the old ideas. You do not need to have fear. You do not need to have regret. You do not need to point the finger. You do not need to feel that someone did you wrong. You do not have that requirement anymore. You can allow for every experience, every action that you or another seems to be taking to reveal itself into your awareness that it is simply unconditional love expressing itself in that way, that you can simply acknowledge it without feeling charged, without feeling you need to do something to get back, without feeling you need to do something to try and make yourself look important or more valuable. You can simply see all experiences more easily, more immediately, and be aware they are the infinite expressing themselves in that way. You can be in love and open without being harmed by any and all of these expressions of the infinite unconditional love that is all that is. And you in this way then will notice yourself not being bothered by things that used to bother you before. And you will notice others not being irritated by things that used to irritate them before. You will realize that more of you are choosing to focus on what really matters, the heart of your beingness, allowing for your unconditional loving nature to flow through your awareness in enriching ways every day. And that then in that reality, all that is uplifting becomes more and more your focus, more and more the focus of those you see in your world. And you see yourself attracting others of a like mind, a like interest, an ability to co-create with you more of the uplifting, unconditional expressions of the infinite in terms of how you perceive these experiences. They, by you, seem to be expressions of unconditional love. For again, all is, but not all things you perceive as loving, because of the limited ideas and beliefs that prevent you from recognizing that love unconditional is all that actually exists. So, more of the limited ideas will cease for you all, will dissipate for you all, will be in a sense vaporized for you all, vanquished for you all, in that way no longer tuned into by any of you, freeing your ability to tune in more and more to realities that are more in alignment with your actual unconditionally loving nature, free of the illusions that somebody is not loving or some action is not kind, free from illusions that somebody is angry at you, so you must get back at them, free of the illusions that somebody suggests you aren't worthy. You will be free of all of those illusions. They are all just expressions of unconditional love, but you will be free of perceiving them as an illusion that, in a sense, causes you to feel bad in some way, to feel as though you must take action and fight back in some way. You will realize that no longer is necessary. You will realize you have not been harmed in any way, for you are the infinite, simply expressing yourself as a part of the infinite. And you will find, as a whole, this understanding permeating throughout all of your consciousnesses, throughout the DNA network that is opening up more within the biology of every human born upon your planet, every human coexisting upon your planet. This then will come through the genetic structure. This idea, these sensations, these understandings that we and I have been sharing will thus then flow through the genetic structure of the DNA in such a way that more of you will simply become more in tune with this understanding. You will be able to lay down the arms of warfare more immediately, more openly, welcomingly, trustingly, in the timings that are perfect for each of you. We are not suggesting you do that. It is something that will occur almost organically for each of you individually, as countries, as societies, as a whole planet. This is part of the transformation that is occurring within your Earth collective consciousness. So, that will be part of the unfoldment in the days, the months, and the years to come. Allow yourself to look forward to this unfoldment, to know it as the result of your collective efforts to manifest this, to attain this summit. And again, you are at the summit. You will not then proceed down into the valley. You are again building from the summit an entire new foundation that will move you upward in more expansive realms of potentiality, of possibility. So, thank you for allowing this information to come through at this time, in this day of your time. This information is of great value to that which is of a vibrational quality within this dimensionality of Earth human interaction. This includes the one you are currently tuned into. Thank you, and for then this moment of your time, allowing us to share in this way, this idea. Is there something you have with what we have shared you would like to explore further or more specifically?
Thank you for sharing. The message is very powerful. This is Carlos speaking. Who do I have the pleasure of communicating with?
I am then one of the Council of the Extraterrestrial Civilizations of Contact upon your planet. I them am one who is of a connection to the Yael civilization. I am one then who is not as focused as that of the Aishua Yael civilization. I do have some of the genetic structure of the Yael civilization. I do have some of the genetic structure of the Sasani civilization. I do have some of the genetic structure of those you have yet to meet, that have yet to, in a sense, formally or enjoyably introduce themselves to you and your society. I then am one who has the opportunity in this timing to share this information For in a sense, it is something that I do, and that is why it is, in a sense, my election to be the one who is voicing this information at this timing. But my name, then, is something that isn't coming into this, for it isn't that important. Something more important is the message, to know what has been shared, to allow that to grow into the consciousness of your world. And it is something that is occurring without the need to have what, if any of this spoken word is recorded, be then shared amongst others on your world, that they can hear it, having been spoken in such a way it can then be shared, in a sense, through your collective consciousness grid in that way. Sometimes referred to as a morphogenic consciousness grid in that way. So it is as though the frequency has been opened up through this conversation, through this sharing, that you and your world will begin to have greater access to this knowingness, activating the DNA within the biology of every life form upon your planet. And this then isn't something that occurs just alone from these conversations, from the words that I have shared. In that sense, there are many here with me of a mind like heart matter, sharing the frequency. But it is something that has been underway for hundreds of generations upon your planet. That then the moment of final opening has occurred. That then is something that we could share in this timing, this way, that I have a name, yes, but not of this day to come forward. There will be then another opportunity to share the name, for I will be sharing in this way again. Thank you, dear one, for asking. Is there more you have around this idea?
Yes, thank you very much for the message. Here on Earth, as you know, we're very label-oriented. So this is great. I absolutely agree. The message is the most important part. Very exciting to hear you mention the morphogenic consciousness grid. For I personally have been working with my daughter Tia on this exercises and that sort of thing. So it's great to hear that we're on the right track. Wanted to ask you, what suggestions do you have for us? What can we do on our end to improve our communication with you, to be easily contacted and to the point of just transparent communication, if you will?
You can suggest to connect more to your expansive, unconditionally loving nature. Not you as an individual, but all of you as individuals and as a whole. You can do this in groups as well. Certainly an individual can meditate in this way, yes, and there are opportunities to bring others together in groups of 2 or more in that idea. You can have the intention then that you all are connecting more to your expansive, unconditionally loving nature, aware of it, allowing it to communicate, to connect with you in that way. Through putting that out, it allows you to attract the reality in which that is actually occurring or you're experiencing of each day in that way. And this then allows for a very simple technique to do this, to have the intention to connect to more of your expansive, unconditionally loving nature. This goes in also with the idea of following your heart as best you can in each moment. Take action and do that which you feel is the most enjoyable thing, whether it is something that is very small or something that you might define as being important. It doesn't matter. If it feels to be the most enjoyable, no matter how small or unimportant you may think it to be, do that thing in each moment as best as you can throughout your day to day. This allows for greater placement in your sense of your physical world, that you are all then able, in terms of placement, to more synchronistically connect, let opportunities unfold and reveal themselves in which you can as a whole society recognize more of you want to move forward in uplifting ways, are also full of wisdom and knowledge of how to do this. Each of you holding a piece of the puzzle, having part of the information in a sense. So, know then, it is a process to follow your heart, and also again to simply express your intention to connect to more of your expansive, unconditionally loving nature in your own individual time and as groups. And you can develop, if you will, gatherings with this intention. Do not then place other intentions alongside it. You do not need to add other intentions. You can allow it to be this simple, to connect to more of your expansive, unconditionally loving nature as individuals and as a whole. Interacting with each other is as detailed as you need for it to be at this timing. The details then begin to come through in the awareness of each individual, and the frequency of the awareness in that individual will also, curiously enough, place them into the physical locations in which they synchronistically connect with others, and the opportunities begin to reveal themselves, begin to happen, and you begin to have the ability to truly manifest, co-create, interacting with one another, the new world in that sense, the new way of life upon earth in which all are lovingly accounted for, all are lovingly embraced, and no one is left out. All are nurtured easily, comfortably, fed, housed in that way, given environments in which they can enjoy who they are, experience laughter, experience the joy of friendship. Yes, this then is something that occurs from having the simple intention to connect to more of your expansive, unconditionally loving nature. You don't need to have a book about it. You don't need to have long mantras about it. You can, certainly, but we suggest you keep it this simple. It is most effective. Yes, very powerful indeed. For, as you have heard perhaps before, the greatest power in existence requires the lightest touch in that sense. The greatest power requires, in that sense, the lightest touch. Allow it to be simple, to be light, with less word, less verbiage. Simply to express your intention, to connect to more of your expansive, unconditionally loving nature. Yes. And then be open to what comes through for you in that way. Yes. So, thank you.
Excellent.
One
Excellent.
more
Thank you.
idea do you have before we depart? Is there one more idea you would like to explore in our timing together this day of our time with you?
Yes, it's a double question. You mentioned you're a member of the Council of the Sasani, the Yael, in another civilization. Could you tell me what is the role of the council? And is this the same council that has been communicating with me since my childhood?
There is contact for you in that, yes, contact. Then certainly for many of you in your world, this idea then Council of Extraterrestrials is a very loose gathering in that way. No strict codes or any conduct or rituals in that sense. Primarily coming from the heart and connected to the heart is what allows for one to be part of the frequency, the interaction, the Council of Extraterrestrial Civilizations. The idea is that my genetic and my biology contains that of Yael, genetic material, that of Sasani genetic material, and that of Earth human genetic material to some degree, to some percentage. If you were to look and to analyze the genetic structure of my biology in that sense, the genetic code in that sense. So, again, there are other codes, other DNA from other extraterrestrial civilizations that are, in that sense, the whole of my biological construct in that sense. So that is what I was referring to. Does that give you greater clarity around this statement?
Yes, in which dimension or density are you?
I travel several in that sense. This one of yours, you might think of it as a fourth into fifth dimensional of consciousness. That way could be the one I sense your world progressing with at this timing in terms of consciousness, not physicality. Thank you for sharing. We have the honor to bring this information through. You may share it with others in any mode or capacity you desire in doing. It is something that can be of great value, but that then value, of course, whatever you define as valuable. We are speaking in terms of the idea of your future progress. It's something that can support, in that sense, as a whole Earth human society. Valuable in that way.
Excellent.
Thank you, dear loving being of Earth human expression, connecting out into other realms of extraterrestrial civilizations in which your soul is a bright light, a beacon of unconditional love, very aware of your presence there on planet Earth, very tuned in to your presence there on Earth. Know then, each of you on Earth has some counterpart in other timelines, in a sense, other realms that are very tuned in to unconditional love, very aware, very wise, very knowledgeable, and each and all of you, without exception, can tune more into these aspects, these other beings that you are. And you can do that more by expressing your intention to connect to more of your expansive, unconditionally loving nature. Yes, dear one, thank you, and good day.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, a privilege, and I hope we communicate again. My love to all.